The following is a special presentation of MRUno Division 1 Super League 2025. Nick, the Nickster versus Gone Berserk. Nick comes off the bye refreshed, looking to tackle what has been a solid Super League so far. But enter Gone! He's been Berserk before. A 7-1, the only 7-1 we've seen so far in group stage over Caesar. He's hot. That Lara loss was a blip on the radar. Now he is the radar on the target. But what makes this match interesting is scenarios. For Nick, it's simple. A win here, welcome to the round 12. For a tie, Brad's Gone, one of his biggest rivals. For Gone, same thing. A win or a tie, and he's moving on. But don't let that fool you. Both players want the win. They've been hyped up as a phenomenal rookie and a March champion. Gone's been in the finale before. Nick conquered that finale. They both know what's on the line. As the trains and the cars move in the city streets, there's one thing that matters for both: eliminating bigger threats. When you're an underdog rookie or a nuanced novice, two things will always come into your mind: the underdog mentality versus the fight of resilience to win. It's getting hot. But the cards are hotter. Ireland versus Ohio. Nick and Gone. Two phenomenal young stars ready to do battle with a round 12 berth looming large. It starts now on MRE Uno.
Hello and welcome back to Super League. We continue the action here in Group A as we begin match day for the Group A combatants. I'm your host G-Man, and we have of this group the top dog and the bottom dog here. Number 1 Nick of the group going up against number 5 Gone. Overall number 7 Nick, number 15 Gone. Both in pretty good spots heading into this match day. Both could use a result to secure themselves into the bracket phase, but a tie will suffice as well. But both are going to be wanting the win, especially a tie doesn't put them in a bad spot either, but neither really wants to put a loss, because then that will definitely put some of the pressure going into match day number 5. Again, we'll read quickly through the scenarios here for this one. Again, with Group A, let's actually go to the standings here so we go through this. But for Group A, this is where we're at right now. Gone at 6 points, 2-1 record. Lara currently top of the group with only 2 matches played. They are currently in the best spot at the moment. They will be playing tomorrow at 2 p.m. And then Nick, who is also at 2 matches played, playing right now against Gone. Scenarios right now for Gone, needs a win, but a tie will also suffice in his case. But again, with how this is has played out so far, if Caesar ends up losing, in that case, then Gone is good to go to advance, since that's really the result that is dependent on him. Because for Brad, who is currently 4th in the group, he has already played 3 matches and is on bye week, and he only has 1 point right now. So Brad not in a good spot, Caesar in a must-win at the moment, but with the 0 points to Gone 6, the best Caesar could do right now is tie, so Gone is in a really good spot right now. We'll just need the tie to suffice to move into the bracket phase. For Nick, it's going to be a little harder, but still not in a bad spot. Win secures him into the next round, but again, it doesn't have to be a win here, because if he ties and Caesar loses, he is good to go then. So if Caesar just outright loses as well, he's good to go for the. Well, actually no, because he's also played Brad. So For Nick, we'll need a tie to avoid the Brad situation, and then a loss to Caesar will secure him in, and that will make match day 5 a little less interesting. But we'll see what happens. But that is going to be the scenarios. Here's the schedule. It is a little bit wonky. Had to make shift. That's partially my fault. Never reached out the short on that one to grab the schedule. Thought it was in there, but never was. And I had a busy day today, so unfortunately I couldn't get that quickly. But we worked around it. This is what we have right now. Again, we saw match day 3 play out before, and then going into match day 4, we started off with Acosta in background, and Acosta able to get the win 5-3 in that one, and secures himself into the bracket phase with that win. Background gonna have to hope for a good result against Monkey in match day 5, as he is someone on the bubble right now in Group B. And then of course Nick and Gon up next, and then later tonight at 8 p.m. it'll be Tosi, who has unfortunately already been eliminated from advancement, which is, it's been a very disappointing run for him. He hopes to end on a high note as he looks to get the win over Varigold, who is in a spot where they very much need a win there. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's jump into the stream now. I am joined by my co-commentator Yoshi, who unfortunately has a bit of a sore throat right now, so we'll try to be working with him on that one. Don't want him to strain his throat too much further. But Yoshi, welcome. Any quick thoughts on either player going into this one? As again, this is a matchup where both can benefit from a tie, but both are going to want that 100% security with the win.
I am interested. This match seems like it'll be close. I feel like both these players have kind of similar styles, at least the way, because I've played them both of them before, not in like an MRE match, but kind of like in a practice game or maybe like in a different league. So I feel like I have an idea of how these two play usually. I anticipate this match being kind of slow compared to others. I think these two, if they need to, they're gonna take their time to play the best moves that they can, and they're going to try and adapt to each other as it goes on. So yeah, I feel like either of these players are capable of winning, so it could also be a tie. Looking at the points, Nick will probably need this win more than Gon, but yeah, I think Gon a win would probably secure him almost, if I had to guess.
A win from either player will secure them into the bracket phase no matter what. So
Gotcha. Okay.
if there is a winner, then they are secured. If there is a tie, Gon is secured, and Nick is still in a good spot. Because again, for Nick right now, the tie will clear him of Brad. It's really just Caesar that's the wild card right now. But if Caesar loses his match in what's it called? I think he's playing tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, because if he loses his match against Lara, then the group is set at that point. Because then Nick is 4 points ahead of Brad, and then Caesar can only get a max of 3 points, which isn't good enough. So then match day 5 is kind of a little bit anticlimactic, but if that happens, it's more just a good reps going into the bracket phase, and it's also in the case of Caesar a opportunity to end out on a high note. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we'll go to the players here. Nick, going to you. As you mentioned, 4 points right now. With how this group is played out, you're in a solid spot. A tie will put you in a advantageous position at least to advance it, and a win will lock you in. Your thoughts going up against Gon here, who has definitely been a bit of a wild card this season with his performances, and just kind of what you expect, as he is someone who's looking to contend here and make it out of this group on top.
No, yeah, I have a lot of respect for what Gon's done this season. I mean, his Sleeper League started off a little bit slow against Lara, but really quickly picked it up, put himself in a good spot to move on to the bracket stage. Right now, we're just trying to get every single win that we can pick up, not really thinking about scenarios too much, just continuing to do what got me into this position in the first place, playing good Uno, hoping for an even match, hoping for a good series. I'm locked in and ready to go.
All right, and just pasted Gon's question here. Gon, it's pretty simple for you. Winner tie sees you through. You're in a great spot at the moment, but you're going up against Nick. It's proven to be a tough challenge in the past. Give me your thoughts on what to expect as you hope to secure a spot into the bracket phase. And he's typing up, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, again, this is two players who have made a final before. Nick, of course, won March Madness, but Gon Automotive April finalist. Really his breakout tournament in there, and then had a really good run in Apocalyptic August, which was really what got him into this field, but just barely. Again, with 2 tournaments missed, it was a very uphill battle for Gon, but was able to make it in. I mean, right now he is proving his worth here, as he's currently sitting second in the group, and still has a shot to win the group, of course. But again, with Lara, with one game behind and tied on points, it will be a little tough. But I think for Gon, just trying to make it through the bracket phase is really the goal here. But we'll see what he just says here. Carrying good momentum so far, just looking to keep that going and hopefully book my spot. I'm after a couple cuff days sleep and activity wise, so we'll see if I manage to lock in and focus. All right, so that might be something to keep an eye out for, Yoshi. We'll see how that goes, but with that all out of the way, we'll get this match rolling. Best of 8. No power plays in the group phase, of course. Sion is going to be the ref. He'll start up with the game 1 call, which I believe after the coin toss will go to Gon. So Gon will have the first 4 games here. We'll see what he makes of it.
Yeah, it's been interesting seeing how having the 4-4 be interesting, like it definitely something the players had to learn from, because usually it's back and forth, but here it's the player gets the first half, one player gets the first half and the other player gets the second half.
We'll see how this goes here. Gon is the game 1 pick. Yeah, we'll see how this series roll. I mean, we saw the match between Background and Acosta from earlier go a decent distance here, 72 minutes on that one. But we'll see if that one is something similar or if we get more of a quicker pace series. But we kick things off with a red 5 on the 9-card start, and not the start Gon was hoping for there.
Yeah, I mean, not much to really say. It's just kind of there's many things that draw could mean. Wouldn't necessarily say he has no red, but maybe just it wants the color to switch.
All right, well, self ditto there from Nick is actually going to force another draw out of Gon there, so tough start for Gon here on his first game. Should probably flip the scoreboard. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how how Gon's gonna try to get out of this, because I mean this red has been terrible so far, to be frank. Already up to 12 cards and still no reds. Nick is already down to 6. Well, now he's down to 6 actually.
Yeah, I think if Nick has that number to switch the color, it's definitely going to be tough. Well, Gon's actually going to do it for him.
Well, I mean, he needed that switch because it's red was a really tough ride for him. So, looking to finally play yellow reverse yellow 5. So, I mean, Nick's still on a roll here, looking for that plan A win.
Keeps it yellow.
All right,
Does have
looks
another
like
yellow. Yeah, I'm curious if Gon has anything he's saved up and thinking about using it right now. Well, he's just going to keep it yellow. I think it's fair. Depends on what Nick does here. Could just get the finish if he has the hand.
I mean, yeah. All right, no plan A
Okay.
for Nick. He's out on yellow, so that gives Gon a little bit of life in this game after a bit of a tough start there, but an immediate switch to green.
Yeah, that definitely is a risk at this point, but sometimes, well, yeah, if you're behind, you got to find any way to get rid of more of your cards. So we'll see if this works out.
I'll mention this, no blue yet, so I'm curious if this actually ends up being a case where maybe Nick is actually weak on blue, potentially. And his last color to run it off is green, or maybe he has blue as well. We'll see, because I mean we saw Gon have no red off the start, so could be an inverse there. Well,
Ooh,
I mean, okay, so blue is not. He only had one green though, so
mine's
that's
the
still not
plus
as
two.
unfortunate for Gon at start, but he's gonna immediately slap on that. But yeah, I think for Nick, it's a pretty solid spot, and I'm actually wondering if maybe that green was actually what kind of prevented Nick from being able to use that wild in the first place, unless that was the top deck.
That could have been the run he was looking for. If it weren't for that plus two, he goes back to green. I mean, it's a gamble. No matter what color you go into, it's a gamble at this point.
I think the last two cards are the stuff he got from the plus two here, so that might put Nick in a bit of a tough spot. And yeah, I mean, draw right there. Not what he was hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, gone just getting the right switch. Oh my God, just wins off that.
Yeah, I mean, it was not looking good for Gon there at the start, but able to just prevent Nick from getting that plan A, and I mean, clawed his way back in that one because the Reds were horrible on Gon's end. So I mean, he did a good job to be able to stay resilient on that. But for Nick, I mean, Nick, I gotta ask. I'm guessing that to me, it felt like, unless I'm mistaken, I think the green 7 that you had potentially off the start, or the green 8, is potentially what did you in, kind of locked you out of doing that wild run to the finish, and then you got plus 2, and that kind of threw your hand all over the place. Just kind of walk me through what went wrong there ultimately.
It was just ultimately he was able to lay down that blue +2 and then able to get that switch out of the blue 4 into the green 4. Um, at the very least, I could have ISO'd it on blue had he not been able to switch there, but so it goes.
All right, well, again, not the start Nick was hoping for there, but I mean, still did pretty well there. No plus 4s also in that one, so we'll see how long we go without that.
Yeah, I mean, that game almost boiled down to just Gon getting that number switch, which was the setup for the win. Um, Unfortunately, Nick didn't have much to work with besides the wild, which maybe he could have just held on to the wild for a bit longer. But I mean, it almost worked. Like the way he used it, it almost worked. If it weren't for that plus two, it would have definitely have been the game.
Well, we'll see what Gon has to say on that one, because I mean, again, that was it did not look good for him at first, but ultimately worked out for him in the end. So I'm curious, just kind of any thoughts he has on that before we jump to the game two. He is typing. Just used my numbers right and got a small bit lucky with the blue 4, but other than that, just trying to play the cards right, which I did. Alright, well. We'll see how game 2 goes. He still has to call, just no 9. So we'll see if he goes up or down.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's going to go
Okay.
up. And I mean, when you think about it, for Gon, really, he did start on 12 because there was no red to be found for him. So maybe a little bit more comfort with that. But green 6 is the opening on this one. We'll see if he's able to get a playoff on this. And he will, green 5, so not going to be stuck in the draws with a weak color to start off this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it can be used against you with the right hand. So it's not something you want to do, but that doesn't mean you can't win if you draw early. So
Before draws,
we've gone down on the numbers so far. I don't know if we're gonna see the green three. No, not.
we
We're
get
gone to
red 8.
switch.
Ooh, we got to cross over into the blue.
Oh. Okay.
We got ditto. Some ditto action here.
We're really liking the 8s right now. Now we're going to 2.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's just kind of running with numbers so far. I mean, Gon had the draw on the green, which kind of broke things up a little bit, but he's actually going to go right back with his own card.
That's intriguing because he did draw on green earlier. Maybe that was the one draw he got and just wants to get rid of the green. He's actually going to
Stalls
force a
out.
draw on Nick too.
Stalls out Nick. This has actually allowed Gon to traverse into a different color here and maybe get rid of that green and make it a 3-color game. Or
That
is
would
it
be
going to be draw
big if
city?
he. Yeah, yeah. That's what I would guess. Unless that green draw was a fade, he actually has more.
No, he actually
Yeah,
uses
no,
it
he goes
to
back to red.
crossover. Now we're at a 3-color game, so that's pretty big for Gon to be able to get rid of that because that was definitely a draw that could have thrown him for a loop, but able to find an escape. But he is going to get immediately slapped for that one and gets 2 more added to the deck.
Yeah, might as well because Gon did that to you in the last game. No harm in doing that unless he got like +4s off the +2s, which is possible. Yeah, Nick just getting out of this red pretty quickly, at least the times that it's been trying to go on red. So it makes me curious on how much more red he has. But Gon is not phased by it, goes for the +2.
Right, +2 and then blue 7. So I mean that kind of resets the +2 from before, and that's also another slap in this one. So we're seeing a lot of hitting each other from the immediate switch.
Right, I think Nick is now potentially, maybe he got some good cards off the +2 and just trying to think about what he should play now. Goes for the blue 4. Maybe trying to either hope for Gon to switch or not to switch for his game plan to work out here. There's a lot that goes into the mind of an Uno player.
Indeed, I mean we're tied right now with that play, so this one's also going a little bit longer than the first
Oh,
game here.
ooh, that's interesting. That's our first opportunity to go into yellow.
Yeah, I believe I mean that's the first wild of this game, but we've only been seeing wild so far. No +4s have made their appearance yet, which in my personal opinion, it's always it's not bad when the +4s decide to take the day off. Like I think it creates for more intriguing
Uh-huh.
gameplay.
Yeah, I think for these two, they could easily still play very well without him. Maybe Nick not looking to switch because yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a stall. That's gonna be a stall there with the 3-card run. Trying to
I
hope that there's
see.
no
So
blue.
yeah, I was either thinking, yeah, he wanted to keep it yellow just for the sake of because he needed yellow for like a setup for a win, or something. Oh, well, hold
Ooh,
on.
that might backfire there.
I guess it. Okay, well, switching to blue, it seems might have been an unfortunate scenario.
Oof.
Okay,
Well,
so
let's break that one down.
yeah, I don't think Nick could have done anything then because I think
I I actually
yeah,
think that accelerated the ending by 1 turn.
right, it did, yeah, but I mean,
I mean, I guess the thing for Nick was anything else he could have done there, or was that just kind of like your last gasp?
I mean, you got to try switching out like that. I mean, I did all that I could there. It's just unfortunate that's the way the card's laid out.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I could really think of that maybe could have worked out slightly better for Nick's favor is if he did the 3-card run the turn earlier, because then Gon would have had 2 yellow numbers left, and then probably either would have drawn or gone to Uno. That's the only thing I could think of, but again, that's one that
Oh,
like there's a low probability of success there.
that's
So,
yeah, very
um,
hindsight.
yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. But I think Gon just kind of was able to do what he needed to and got the finish, and that's also the first +4 we've seen so far. So I don't know if I don't really got anything for Gon. That was just kind of run of the mill, kind of similar to the last game, except no draw at the start.
Yeah, no, you are right though. I think if he went immediately switched out, yeah, Gon would have had to think about what to do there. That definitely. I would have guessed he would have drew, because what else? Unless you take the risk in the +4 back to yellow. But yeah, that would have, in hindsight, that would have been the only way Nick could have stopped that.
That's going to be the only thing I ask, because I mean we saw some +2s here and there, and we also saw Gon drew I believe once during that game. So I'm curious to
Right.
see if that was something he picked up or just had from the start.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because thinking about if when Nick went for the +2, did that give Gon when he needed? Yeah, it it's one of those things where, I mean, sometimes if a +2 is in your hand and there's no connections, you feel like you just don't have a choice but to use it, even if you worry that it will give them your opponent ammo.
From the start. All right,
But
so
it was from the start anyway.
we held on to that. All right, well, we'll jump to game 3 here. Gon off to a good start here. I mean, again, he's looking to at least get the tie here, so 4 is the magic number for him. But see how it goes. 2-0 at the moment.
Yeah, his homestand looking pretty good. We'll see if he can continue that.
Oh, he's gonna okay, interesting. He's gonna go for
Wow.
the no send here. So maybe looking to get a little bit fortunate
Oh
on the roll of
no.
dice here.
Oh my goodness. This is one of the. I mean,
This
for 5 card start, this is probably one of the best ones you could get, but not if you don't have any blues or +2s.
not what Gon wants there, because I mean at the very least you want to close that, but oh wow,
Oh,
and Nick's
oh.
not gonna do the +2, but I mean he's already done the 2 on his first turn. You got a 3-card run in the green, so pressure already
Well,
on Gon here.
how quickly will this end? Is Nick gonna win off this?
Typing it up here. This might have blown up in Gon's face. It's gonna be a ditto for Uno.
Okay.
Let's see. Any more greens here, or is this just kind of not the hand that Gon was hoping for, and he draws? So this might have blown up in his face, but you
No,
know,
okay, okay.
gets some second life here. Nick with no immediate finish, one
But then
short,
he finds
but now
green
he's
4.
in top deck territory though, so this is where it's a little bit concerning, because you could
Right.
just get that bright number, and just like that, there you go.
Oh, he's got the 4.
As famously quoted. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can't do it too loud.
I don't got much. I don't got much on that one. That's the risky run with 5, and that is what happens. And I always talk about it. 3 cards. That's always the danger of top deck territory, and we just saw that there with the with Nick having the 4. So, yeah, I don't got anything on that one. We'll just jump to game 4 here.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, Nick definitely needed that win, I feel. That doesn't want to be down 3-0. Kind of got blessed there, getting the win on the 5 card start as well. I mean, we're not like, well, in the sense that like he just got better cards than Gon did. So,
Yeah, Gon wanted to go for a bit of a gamble there, see if he can play with house money, and the house fought back. So, gonna go on the
oh,
opposite
there
end here with
you
15.
go.
Well, the good
And
news
the
for Gon
same card
is
start? Bruh.
that is a ditto on the card starts technically. But I think the thing for Gon here at least is if he does lose this, then he has shut down the low tier and high tiers, and I think that could also make Nick a little bit unsure of where to go potentially, because he's won on both ends. So may have to mix that one up a little bit, but again, sometimes people just stick with what they know, and that could just be irrelevant, but we'll see. But we're gonna run blue for now.
Yeah, I mean, Gon's last card start, he goes for the full send, which is fair enough. I mean, if you lose, then Nick can't pick it, because usually you like to finish you like the last game to be a 15. But if you win, you look pretty good going into Nick's homestand. As we go for okay, this is our first switch of the game. Oh, and a crossover right immediately.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's the thing for Gon right now, because I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the scenarios here. And we'll probably jump to the standings tab once this game is over. But just taking a quick look at the scenarios here, I really think if Gon ends up losing this, this could be something that like the game differential could be important. Because I mean, Gon currently has a 16 game differential advantage over Caesar at the moment. Because Caesar's at -10 and then Gon's at 6 right now. So. I mean, if Gon drops this every single game from this point forward, he'll lose 4 on that, so it goes down to 2. And I guess for Caesar, it just kind of depends on what Caesar's result is. Because for Gon, this is it. This is his last match because he has the week 5 bye. So,
True.
we'll see how that goes. But if there's a situation where Gon only drops a little bit here, he still might be okay even with a loss,
Oh,
but
what a run.
obviously he wants to secure himself now. But I mean, again, Nick with a big run there and is trying to get this win here.
Yeah, no, imagine Caesar goes out and 8-0s his next 2, and like,
That might be what he has to do depending on the result of this, which is not good for Caesar.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, with how this group has played out, it's very lopsided. I mean, the odds for Brad and Caesar to both advance are pretty low. So
Oh,
that's just
yeah.
kind of the way the first 3 match days worked out. Because Caesar needs to win both games, like pretty much, no matter what. And then for what's it called? For Brad, it's like he's just kind of hoping that Nick he's probably the biggest fan of Gon right now, because he doesn't want a Nick win, and the Nick tie doesn't really help him either. So Brad is going to be a big supporter for Gon here. But
So okay, interesting from Nick there. Goes for the switch into blue and then draws immediately. But Gon gonna help him with going back to yellow. So both are actually kind of low. So I'm curious of how quickly we could see a run. And maybe Gon might be typing it right now. Oh
well,
my goodness, that looks
a lot of
like
ammo on
the
that one.
game.
A lot of ammo. That's a
Oh,
6
so many.
card run, and
Wait,
Nick
wait, wait, wait.
just has an okay on that one.
Rainbow skip. Yeah, that's just insane.
Yeah, nothing you could really do on that one there. We'll throw some Skittles on that one. There you go. But yeah, I mean, that was rough. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was Plan A for Gon, if I'm not mistaken. I've spent a majority of that game talking about the potential scenarios here. But I mean, again, every game win it just makes it worse for Caesar. So we'll see what happens with that. But
Yeah, no, that was pretty.
yeah, I
You got
think
plus
with
food once, but
blue. Yeah, no, I mean, that was pretty much Plan A for Gon there, and I mean, the +4 was just kind of the catalyst to end that one off, so, was able to do a pretty good job with that one, so it's 3-1 and really able to take advantage of that full homestand. Nick, any comments on that? I mean, you got your win on 5, but besides that, Unfortunately, could not really find much to go your way here in the first half of this series. But with the homestand now in the second half, anything that you feel you can do, or anything you've taken from these first 4 games going into that?
Uh, I haven't taken away much from it, honestly. A lot of it's just been Gone getting the hand, and I do what I can to stop it, but it ultimately doesn't work out. Okay, maybe the blue switch was a little bit dumb on my end, but I wasn't anticipating for Gone to have any other blue on his end and be able to light switch that easily back into it. But I don't know. I mean, we still got a couple games here where we can pick up all these. We could still theoretically pick up the win. We just gotta stay locked in, stay in the moment. You gotta keep fighting until it's over.
Yeah, for sure. I think the unfortunate irony with that blue switch is it actually took away the stray blue that Gon had. So, yeah, unfortunately that backfired a little bit, but that's
Yeah,
ultimately a hindsight
exactly.
move. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll go to Gon here quickly.
Oh God. It's a way to put it, I guess. We had well, you had four. Oh, two or three. I see.
2 or 3 of the skips in the start, so I mean, picked up at least one of them along the way to complete the rainbow. But I mean, that's also a good hold on that to not use that immediately and to kind of have that as an option, especially with him able to run plan A. But yeah, I mean, again, we were talking about the scenarios here. We'll jump to the standings here in a second. I mean, we mentioned before, Gon just needs a tie, so he's one game win away from securing that spot. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, again, I mean, with the way this is playing out, this I'm trying to think of this here because I mean, for Caesar, he's in a very bad spot. No matter what after this, but I think looking at the way this turns out, I think he's kind of actually hoping that maybe Gon just outright wins this because then that makes it where he could catch Nick potentially. Um, Again, that game differential is still something you gotta point out because it's not looking good at the moment. So I mean, actually, a big Gon win could actually help Caesar quite a bit here as he tries to make it in. But
Right.
uh, again, we're gonna have to keep an eye out on this as this goes along. The spots for Group A could be finalized by the end of the end of this week, but we'll see. But asked a quick question for Gon here, and for his response, lovely to see me carrying the momentum. Had only 1 or 2 mistakes in the first half, so can't be too picky. Just looking to keep those mistakes down, hopefully win the game. Yeah, I think Yoshi for the most part for Gon, I think he played that pretty well. I think his only mistake was going with the 5. I think he got a little bit too greedy there, but other than that, I think Gon's been just kind of been doing what he needs to get the game wins. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, at least with the 5 card start, it gives Nick some life. I mean, obviously, being down 4-0 doesn't mean that the person can't just tie it back up, but I feel like you give Nick something to work with. Now you dropped a game in your homestand, so it makes me curious as to how Nick is going to pick his card starts and how if he gets hands more favorable hands at least because I guess the way he's looking at it, there's really not much he's able to really do. So yeah, I think Gon just getting the edge off of getting the cards he needs. So yeah, I think he's looking pretty good. He doesn't have much he needs to do at this point. If he could just if he could just get one of the wins in the next 4 games, then yeah, I mean he's in.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here. Nick has the call now for the rest of the series, looking to rally this one back. Still in position to potentially win, but he's gonna have to win these next 4 games straight. And then for a tie, needs to win 3 of them. So, we'll see how this one goes. It's gonna be Nick's call, just no 5. And all right, he's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
trust his gut with the high tier, which you know, even though he lost to 15, I think for him that's usually what he feels more comfortable with. And look,
Oh my
it's me on the
goodness.
start, but that's the third +2 start that we have seen, the third in a row. So,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's potentially a cause for concern here as we go through the rest of the series.
Yeah, maybe the bot just wants someone to play a +2, and they're not going to stop doing +2 starts until that happens. But Nick's not going to fall for that and play a 6.
Yeah, he is really wanting to. He's really wanting to. The bot, no, not he. The bot is really wanting to see that +2, but they are not going to be getting it. But we will see how this one goes as we get our first switch into blue. Again, Nick looking to try to take control of this game to get it going here because he'll want to try to start off on the right foot here.
I mean, there's always the idea of you want on a low card start. It's you may think about going for that low start again, but yeah, Nick's not the type of player to take risks like that. Despite maybe the low card starts working better. Gon kind of doing a little bit of a clip play here. There you go.
Alright,
Double
well,
play.
running green, so again for Gon looking to try and secure his safety now and not have to wait for it as we are tied at 10 apiece. I believe that's the second time Nick has switched into the blue specifically. Gon had the crossover last time, but not going to have it this time, so Nick will be able to roll with it here. Yeah, I don't believe...
Yeah, both players.
Go ahead.
All right, both players seem to be really liking this blue so far. And as I say, that Gon starts drawing.
It's first draw of the game there, so kind of breaks it up for Gon here. That gives Nick a potential advantage here as he plays his own card, self-dittos himself. So trying to force the draws out of Gon here.
Yeah, I guess this is why Nick was really eager to get into blue, because Trent's that was switching into it twice, now really getting the opportunity to stall Gon out, and now he's okay. Internet not working great right now.
Alright, well, that's not really great for Gon here. But for Nick, he's just gonna have to wait until Gon gets this turn out. Well, alright. It's gonna be a draw. There we go. And Nick's gonna
Okay.
take advantage of that to have that pre-typed. So green 9 switch. So I think got the most out of that that self ditto there.
Yeah, I
And
mean
also,
now the question is what is Gon able to do? Because you get into this territory where Nick's switching into what he wants. So you might want to start thinking about using some ammo, or at least stalling him out somehow.
alright, well, for Nick here, it's looking pretty solid here. He's down to 4, Gon's up to 9. So looking to be in a good spot here, but will that switch potentially interrupt his run?
Yeah, this is an interesting switch. Not gonna force a draw yet.
Yeah. So down to 3 on that one. Yellow does have yellow. We'll see what Gon has here because he was the one who initiated the switch.
Yeah, maybe trying to find a way to get a +2 in there.
Oh,
Better. Oh
that's
yeah. Oh, he's got 2 of them. Wow.
that is a heartbreaker for Nick there, as it's essentially a scoreboard flip. Was looking really
Now he's
good there, but then
yeah
+6.
aggressive play, but it's going to okay. Gone with the wild switch. Does Nick have a response?
That's the red 7.
Doesn't look like it, unfortunately.
And so we'll see. Gon looking to secure himself into the bracket phase. Nick looking to just
Alright,
try to
so we'll
get another
play.
game in on the board. And that'll do it. Nick
Yeah,
and
I figured.
yeah. So I mean that's another +2 there to wrap that one up. And Gon has now secured himself into the bracket phase as he is now up to 7 points. So so Caesar can now no longer pass him, and Gon is going to finish at least second. So again, good stuff to what's it called? Good stuff to Gon there. He's able to get that one done. Now really just has these last 3 games to try to get the full 3 points and end with 9. But Nick, I mean, we'll start with you. I mean, you were looking good there, but unfortunately, got +6, and from there it was kind of curtains, especially with the wild Gon had. Any takeaways from that as you go in these last 3 games looking to salvage the point?
That's my first thought right there. That was my starting
That's a
hand off the rip.
that's a very
So,
peculiar thought.
What?
I was fortunate to be able to get into a position where I was having Gone burn up his ammo, but from that point on, I didn't really have much off of the +6 to further put pressure on a Gone. I had to swap into the blue 5, but he had the wild to immediately respond to that, and from there it was curtains. Just not really much I could do there. Got the most out of that game.
Well, fortunately for Nick, really has not been able to find the ammo here at the right times. So again, only 2+4s. I mean, +2s have really not been that much of a factor here. And I mean, both times they were used, it was just to add to a finish for Gon here. But we'll get a quick comment here from Gon as he's now locked his spot in.
Yeah, I mean, that. I think Nick made it close. He got close. With a hand like that, getting to 3 cards is pretty good. But unfortunately, when Gon has those kinds of hands, what else could you really do?
There we go.
I don't really know what else to say. I mean, Gon using his, I mean, Gon's using the hands to their full potential. I mean, so
All right, so yeah, again, quick thoughts from Gon here as he secures the point, and that's all he needed to get through to the next round. But we'll see what he has to say here. Although, again, he mentioned his internet's a little bit spotty at the moment, so might take a second on that. But yeah, I mean, again, Yoshi, I mean, your comments here, because I mean, it's looking a bit bleak for I think it's looking a bit bleak for a Caesar here per se. Although I think in my opinion the worst outcome for both Brad and Caesar is a draw. That is the absolute worst outcome that could happen for both of them. But I think for Caesar especially, like if Gon is able to like dominate, get like a 7-1 similar to what happened to Caesar himself, that might open up a potential opportunity for him to find a path through this round here. Because again, it's been a rough start for Caesar here. But we were mentioning him so much because he still has 2 matches to go, and it's 6 points compared to Nick, who's currently at 4. Nick still has a match game in week 5, but again, it could open up the table to see some interesting scenarios play out.
yeah, I mean, I still think Nick could bring this to 4-4, but it's really when I'm getting the sense that he just needs better cards. That's really the key. He needs better cards, or Gon needs worse. There's something where he can like feel like he has at least some control. So I don't. You're at a point where the only card set you want on is 5, but it's so risky to go low that is it even worth trying it? I don't know. Like you put yourself in a tough spot here, but we'll see what happens.
All right, so for Gon, relief Sonoa across the line after the agonizing loss week 1 to end the group stage on 9 would be the icing on the cake. So we'll go for the W. So Gon's gonna try to go for the win here. We'll see what Nick does. And Nick, again, for Nick, really wants to try to at least get a point here because that puts him in a much better spot. So we'll see how this goes. Brad, I think at this point is hoping for a massive blowout here. So is Caesar. So we'll see what happens. Game 6. Brad's call, not Brad. Nick's call. No 5 still. So we'll see what he decides here. That's 2 losses on the heights here. And okay, he's gonna go to OG. Yoshi, your thoughts on the call here?
So, I mean, I feel like it's the way that I see it. I feel like this is almost like you kind of just want to, you gotta try something different because, I mean, well, obviously 9 is kind of mid-tier-ish, almost on the low end, but every other, like 12, 14, 15, it just not worked out at all. You may as well try the 7 because 5 worked. Sometimes you just got to go with the trends. As we see a red, oh wait, is he trying to KT Classic this right off the bat?
I'm wondering if that's a bad sign for his hand, though. That could be a bad sign for
Yeah,
what his hand is.
that's true. Let me see this. This would be really funny. Oh
Oh, but he
wow,
does have
okay.
a, wait, he does have a red 6. Interesting. So he
Now you have to think
drew
about
off the
that.
start.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my god, but he got the green. Oh,
oh
Nick
man.
got this.
Wait a
Was
second.
prepared. This
This is
is
a,
this
this
is
is
fire.
this is a weird opening. But I'm intrigued
Electric.
by what Nick's going for here.
It's an electric game, and for a 5 card or 7 card
Oh,
start,
plus
no
4.
way. What is happening?
That's only the third plus 4, and all 3 have gone to Gone so far, and it's immediate switch to yellow, and that actually is gonna force Gone
Fine.
into a
Okay,
draw.
a sigh of relief for Nick that he doesn't have an answer to a switch for once. Um, but I don't know what he can do off this because I feel like the +4 probably is going to set him back quite a bit.
Alright, well, yeah, I think for Nick really it's just hoping he does not get another plus 4 in these draws here. As
Yeah,
he's out as well,
frosty.
so not what Nick was hoping for there.
You
Just looking
can't
for
get too desperate.
L7, okay, gets the top deck. I mean, again, that's good for him because, I mean, that still closes the gap with Gone, especially if he has another draw here. Will not, Yell at 9, so that's actually going to be a double stall. Unless Gone plays a little bit of tricks here and has the switch. Nope, nothing. So it's ultimately going to be a stall move.
Yeah, I mean, Nick definitely going to need some good cards off this draw city. Not can't really afford. I mean, he can afford loss, but ideally, it would just to avoid a situation where he could not make it past uh the next stage. He wants to at least get something out of this. +2.
So, I mean, that plus 2 really is just kind of, again, trying to create a little bit of a gap here. That will give him the lead, I believe. But again, we're still stuck on yellow, so no escape from it yet. This really just depends on what Nick has in his hand here, because, I mean, I'm not really sure what his hand shapes up to be, especially with that opening, but we'll see. Still no plus 4s from Nick yet. Gone taking a second, probably his internet. There we go.
Right.
And okay, we are broken out of the yellow, so we are back underway. And nope, we're not into the green. We're into the blue. So another crossover. Nick has done that. I believe that's the second time Nick has done that in this match so far. This specific game, but he is running on this blue now, and having good control on what the color is could go a long way for Nick. Because again, he wants to at least get this draw.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
that's
my
a
goodness, but Gone is just
That is a scary run to have.
Oh,
It's +6. And again,
well,
you saw what happened last time the +6 happened. It's got to be a frustrating
yeah.
one for Nick there. He's hoping at least he got something this time. It's also a question of what to do with it though. I guess the switch, and that's gonna be another draw. So I mean, this yellow has been good for Nick so far in terms of getting a stall out. And alright, gonna double stall it for now. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he has another yellow in his pocket, but I think he's maybe I think Nick might be looking for some cards here. He might not be happy with the way his hand is shaping up at the moment.
That is true, yeah. But there's another +2. Um, yeah, we could be in for a long game here, depending on how long these two are going to draw.
I mean, Gon just got +2, so there is an option for another yellow here to come out, but he also played it on the 0, which that would be a tough switch to make. Again, we just hit 6 minutes, so alright, and Gon's gonna break the stall out here, so I think for Nick being able to have that yellow 5 played, at least leaves him with the probability that he won't have a yellow left over. But again, Nick really is gonna want to try to get this win here, even if his hand's not great. So it's just gonna be a matter of can he find a draw on a color that is not yellow. Alright, well, we're running the greens right now. Running that for a bit. We got a ditto there on the Yepes 7. And that's actually gonna open the door for a
Okay.
switch to the red. Now here's the problem for Nick right
Yeah.
now. Gon has the lead. So this number run is not gonna work for him if they just keep running the numbers.
I mean,
And
if it's all he can do,
that's
a good draw
that's a
though.
big help for Nick here. Needed that.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say oh wow, nice. I was gonna say if it's all he can do, run the numbers, and that's all he can do. He's got to start. You know, at some point you have to take risks. And just if you like as we see here, like if you have a run going, then I mean maybe it's just worth taking the risk and hoping you get the finish first, and he did.
No, the ditto actually worked out perfectly for Nick there because he needed that 7 switch because he was out on green after that. So that worked out perfectly for Nick, and he's got some life back in this one. Nick, your comments on being able to get the win, kind of break up that momentum run that Gon had, and how you kind of approach now game 7 and 8 with a still a chance to get the tie.
I'm relieved I had a couple switches go my way for once. So I'll start with that. No, that start was really, really weird because I initially didn't have anything off the red, and then I drew with the wild in my hand, and my top deck was a red 6. So when he switched into green, which was another color which I didn't have, I mean, I just felt like my only option at that point was to wild back into the red. From there, it was just a drawn out game full of drawing, pun not intended, but I think that's the type of gameplay where I really thrive, where it's not just plan A right off the rip. There's some actual thought and creativity going into when to play, when to draw, and I'm really happy that that worked out. I feel like I really needed a win like that to feel confident in myself again that I can get this back into a tie.
Yep. Again, a goal is going to be the tie here, and we're mentioning it. We've been mentioning it. I think that's probably the worst outcome for both Brad and Caesar is a tie. So we'll see how this goes. But again, in the game differential as well, it's only a max 6-2, so that helps as well. I mean, we got to keep an eye out for that also because that could play a big factor. depending on how this one goes. But because I mean, if we look at it like this, for Nick especially, yeah, because I mean, also look at the schedule here for week 5, because Nick's playing Lara and then Brad plays Caesar, so when it comes to Nick, if he only loses this Yoshi, even look at this now, even if Nick loses this, if he only loses 5-3, that puts him in a great spot going into week 5 still, because he's still got an 8-game advantage on the differential. So as long as Brad
I
doesn't
see.
have an 8-0 on that, he's still actually in a pretty decent spot. So I think for Nick, even just getting at least one more game still puts him in a solid spot here. Although of course he'll want the tie, because then
Mhm.
that pretty much will eliminate Brad, and that forces a lot of pressure on the Caesar. So again, we'll see. Going back to the stream here, see what Gon has to say. For Gon, just didn't vibe with the game, but we move on and push ahead. So not much to say for Gon there. We go to game 7 here. Nick looking to get another one on the board here to keep the chance at a point alive. 7 worked this time, so we'll see if that maybe leads influence on where he decides to go next for game 7. All right, and I think it kind of did.
Yeah,
So,
and we go to the 8.
all right, no +2 start, or anything crazy like that. Red 9. Well, we didn't have that game for 6, but did not reemerge for game 7. So again, Nick looking to utilize this not full, not bottom, not no send territory, but like lower tier, because I think he's been able to find something here as he starts off with a double. So it's a pretty decent start for him. Yeah, there's going to be a lot to break down after this game in terms of scenarios here for Group A, because there actually is a good chunk that rides on this outcome, all things considered.
Yeah, Nick runs out after that initial run. Well, it wasn't even a run. Yeah, initial double play. So now, I mean, maybe just looking for the right switch.
I think, yeah, I mean, for Nick, he had a good start, but I mean, that draw did not help him, and gets a top deck red reverse,
Okay.
so he's going to trade that one in, hoping for something good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Gon could if had gone as a reverse. Now he's just gonna play the another number. So maybe looking for that number of fish.
Still nothing. And Gonton to get the switch there, so that's not great for Nick there. He was hoping for maybe a draw. Still no +4s yet from Nick there. He's looking for his first, and he is gonna stall this one
Oh
out.
my god.
Second game in a row, he's doing that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gonna work. I feel like
Where is it? This one I don't use as often.
I don't.
There you go.
Of course, it's this is a strat that usually works, but I wouldn't say it always works, right? I sometimes the player just gets a top deck and which just allows them to get out of red or just I don't know has some crazy connection. But I mean, if this is one of the safer plays you can really make. Um, yeah, it's gonna work out for Nick so far.
I mean, Nick was able to win the last game off a few ices here and there, so this could be the winning strategy for him. Because
Right.
I mean, again, for Nick, it's obviously you want the 2 points, but as I mentioned before, I actually think he's still in a pretty solid spot, even if he gets at least one more game win. So, again, remember, Nick still is playing in week 5. Gon's gonna be done after this, but Nick still has another match in week 5. So we'll see how that one turns out. We are getting a very long cycle of draws here. Red 5. So that's actually gonna break the red drought, but both get the top deck red, and Gon's gonna use that to switch to yellow. So we are out on red, and we are running a 3-color game now. Right, double. I mean, Nick. Yeah, I mean, I understand the double there. Nick is behind right now, so he needs to make up some of that gap here, and probably is not going to get a draw right away. Ooh, use his own color for the switch there. Um, not color. Use his own card, but yeah, I mean, for Nick, it's definitely gonna be a tense one for him. He's known how this ammo has played out so far. He is still looking for his first +4. And if the +4 is not in his hand right now, it's of course a cause for concern with how this one goes. But +2 is going to give him the lead, I believe, and yes, it will.
Yep. Ooh,
It's actually
gives
going to
the
open
opportunity to switch.
opens the door for a blue switch. Blue 0. Looking to keep this one going.
Oh man, another +2 from Gon here.
Yeah, not exactly what he was hoping for there. And he has a +2 right back. No, so
Well,
he just negated it.
yeah, that's interesting, but goes out of blue after that.
Yeah, only 3+2 so far. I mean, again, it's still a decent chunk on the board, and I mean, Nick is out on yellow,
Oh
which
no.
not what he needs, not what he needs at all. And there's
And
another
no
+2,
way.
so half the +2s are out now.
Yeah, I feel like all the times that Gon gets these +2s, they feel like just heartbreaking +2s for Nick. When he feels like he's on a roll, he just gets +2 to +6.
Yep, that definitely has been the case at times, but again, green 8 looking to try and get something going here, and that is not a good sign for Nick here.
This is crazy if this is game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one there. Let's
Oh,
see,
because of a
fourth +4 from Gone
+4?
there, and that will be the win for Gone here. And Brad will not be eliminated just yet, so Brad's still in the hunt.
My God. I has Nick gotten a +4 at all this entire series?
He is not.
I assume he didn't save it. The only way he could have is if he saved it and held on to it this game, but other than that.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's anything on the holds there. That would be the only possibility where you have it. But yeah, I mean, it was a game no matter what after that. Ironically, it's a fatal switch, but like not really. Um, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one for Nick because I'm not really sure what else he could have done there unless there was a hold on like ammo there. I guess that's really the only thing I have to ask Nick about on that one.
No. The only thing was I had was a red +2, and that was on its own after I got that last +2. So ultimately, there was no hold. Still looking for my first opportunity to use a wild +4 heading into game 8. Hopefully, I'll be able to put at least one of those on the board. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, again, we'll see. But I mean, I mentioned it before. Even though Nick has lost this match, this game 8 is still important for the game differential because it could play a factor. 'Cause, I mean, again, we're looking at the schedule again here. Um, ironically, depending on how this goes, that could force Brad into a bad spot because I mean, again, it's an 8 game gap there, and for Nick, then he's just kind of cast the hope that Brad doesn't like get a sweep, and then Nick at least doesn't lose too badly in the next week, and then he could be still set. Of course, this also depends on the Caesar outcome, because that's gonna be something to factor as well, because he can get a max of 6, which of course would pass Nick. But this last game's gonna be important, even though it's not gonna be for points here. For Gon, we'll just get a quick comment here before we jump to game 8. All right, so for Gon, we'll get a quick comment here. Able to secure the win here. I mean, again, Yoshi, the 4-0 has been kind of crazy for Gon here, and from what we're hearing from Nick, not even one that he held on to. So it's
Right.
been a rough going for Nick on the plus fours. Plus twos. I mean, there's 10-6 on that one. Everything else is negotiable. I mean, 9-8 skips, 11-8 on the reverse, and then 3-3 on the wilds. It's really just been plus fours that have not been working in Nick's favor, and then a little bit of the plus twos as well. That we've seen some back and forth on that. But yeah, we'll see what Gon has to say, and then we'll jump into the final game here, which Nick will have the call here as he looks to make it 5-3 rather than 6-2. What
Right.
it
I'm
says,
not
Red Draw
sure.
City. Prevented a win, but other than that, pretty standard gameplay. Okay, so the Red Draw City actually worked out for Nick in terms of keeping the game going, but unfortunately could never really find much from there. But all right, last game here, game 8. Nick has the call, looking to end this series off on a high note for him. We'll see what he goes with here, and gonna go back to 15. So gonna try to
Yeah.
full send again.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised on that pick. I've really gotta get something to work with here. Feel like yeah, Nick with plus force is pretty lethal, but without him, it's definitely he definitely has a wall, a mountain climb.
Well, Nick looking to get the game win here, try to open with the red 3, but immediately gets switched to blue. Might be an interesting one to watch out for on that one. Gone with a very quick switch. Red is going to give his red blessing for a W, or a +4.
Let's see if he gets it later down the line, but just kind of rolling with these, some light switches and just kind of trying to get down to like single digit cards, and then maybe we'll start seeing some ammo.
I do think ultimately some of these holds are just kind of due to Gone saying before his internet's a little bit spotty, so we'll see. We'll see how that could affect this game, but again, for Gone, got the 3 points here. Really just looking for ending on high game differential here. I mean, again, I think for Gone, really not a whole lot to play for in this game, so maybe that could work in Nick's favor slightly, but yeah, blue 6, so not gonna do anything crazy here. Just keeps it blue. And that's actually gonna open the door for the switch in the red. We've been running again. Most of these high tier starts have been kind of just number runs to kick things off, and that's kind of what we're seeing here because that's I believe that's 3 straight turns from both sides where it's just numbers, and that is something we kind of see sometimes on the high tier. So it's really just got who breaks the ice and either draws or plays that first ammo card, even if it's just like a double. Neither's gonna do it on the 4th round of turns here. So we go into the 5th set. Nick will keep it cool in the numbers. Will Khan play a number as well? Yes, he will. Goes with the 5, so I believe that's what we have we seen the 5? We saw the 4. Okay, so both 4s are gone, but the 5, that's only the first 5. It's not what Nick wanted
Okay.
there. Gonna be the first draw, and that's again not what he was hoping for. Khan looking to keep it rolling
Definitely
in the red.
interesting.
Nick looking for probably a switch here. Doesn't get it. Red is pleased with this gameplay so far.
Oh god.
And I don't think he's very happy anymore.
That's very ironic.
Well, that's gonna free up Nick. But Gon is continuing this run here. I mean, he's looking for a Plan A win. Just been running the numbers so far. Down to 7. Yellow 6 from Nick. Does that mean 6 for Gon? No, he draws,
Okay.
so he is out.
I was thinking, like we've seen Gone with these relatively big runs. I was worried that he was gonna maybe have something coming up soon, but the draw is definitely gonna be something where Nick can start thinking about how I now I have an opportunity to get the win here. How should I go about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, this helps Nick a little bit here. I mean, there hasn't been any ammo played yet, which obviously could be some alarms for concern, but this allows Nick to at least potentially get himself back into this game a little bit here, as it's 8 to 10 now, looking to make it 8 to 9 at least.
Yeah, Nick might have some options that maybe he didn't have in the last 7 games, and just trying to figure out how, like, should I play like a one of those like big ammo cards, or do I go into this draw city maybe? I feel like, I mean, with a this game is pretty important, so definitely wants to see, definitely trying to like really think about his strategies here.
I mean, for Nick, maybe has an option or two, just really just trying to think what's the correct course of action here. So we're at 5:30 right now. Ooh, 3-card run.
Okay.
It's a blue. That gives him the lead,
Yeah,
but it also frees up Gone potentially.
and yeah, we have to consider the fact that he played a blue 6 when Gone previously had a yellow 6. So maybe, well, almost a guaranteed sign that he probably doesn't have any yellow left. So if Gone could potentially use that to force a draw, if he needs to.
Or is that what Nick's hoping for, though? Is he hoping that he tries to maybe go back and he could close it out there? But for now, Gone just
Yeah,
plays
it's true.
blue.
Yeah. That's always possible. But okay, big wild play there. I feel like Nick might have something here for once. Let's see.
Oh, he has
No,
to
he just
switch
has a
out.
triple play.
Nick
Okay,
is
no
rolling
ammo to
here right
give.
now. Ooh, that's
Oh
gonna be
my
tough.
god! Every time, it's just the wrong number.
All right, no switch out this time here. You're gonna have to be forced to draw, and I mean this 9 has been a struggle bus for Nick this game. Gonna be another draw there, and unfortunately for Nick, it feels like it's slowly fading away here. But gets to
All he
switch
can
to
do is
red to maybe
switch.
get some life back in him. Was strong on his color before. And the last play, and
Dude,
one more +4 to end this
wow.
series from Gone, and that'll be 6-2 final. Oh, that's rough. He was close.
Oh yeah, that's all he. Yeah, I see. So literally all he could have done. One turn away. Yeah, I mean that is very sad.
Well, actually, I'm looking at the. I'm looking at this. I mean, this is ultimately a hindsight thing. I feel like maybe if Nick could have done the +2, um, with the blue 5 as well, and that maybe would have been able to give him the option to get the win. I mean, that's definitely something he could have done there. Beside to hold on to it.
yeah.
Unless that was a draw, which in that case, then that whole idea gets kind of tanked. But
No,
um,
if I do the blue plus two with the blue 5, then I'm not able to use that blue plus 2 to connect to the yellow plus 2, red plus 2 next turn and win the game there.
yeah, that is
There's not
that
really
is
a good
true.
opportunity. Yeah.
That is actually no, that is true. And ultimately, the green 5 was the only thing that was going to lose in that, and unfortunately, it was the green 5. Um, so I mean, thank you for the correction there, because that actually is a good point there. Um, but yeah, rough one for Nick there. You go into the final match day with I believe it was 0 on the game differential. So I mean, you're still ahead of Brad right now on that. But again, obviously 4 points not the best spot. I mean, any just general comments after that one? I mean, you're still not in a bad spot, but definitely not the spot you want to be in going into match day 5. But yeah, any takeaways after that? Actually, any takeaways from that? And I actually think, ironically, for the Caesar match, I think for the draw is really going to be helpful for you on your end. But any comments after kind of just what happened here in this one?
Generally speaking, not really much to take away with. Gon played perfectly clean and was able to find the draws and the switches in the ideal spots to where it left me without any sort of options. Sometimes it's the deal with sometimes you just go out there and you have all this optimism about how the match is gonna go, and then you go out there and then you don't get an opportunity to play a +4 through 8 games. And that's just the nature of the beast. Um, what separates the good players from the great players is how you're able to bounce back from that, if you're able to take those on the chin or not. And ultimately, that's what I'm going to have to look to do going into week 5. And it's not the end of the world for me, still in a good spot. If anybody has any if anybody's thinking that I'm going to fold underneath the pressure, they either haven't been paying attention to how I've been playing this season, or they don't know what they're talking about straight up. So GG's to Gone. We'll see y'all when I play Lara come week 5.
Well, we'll see how that one goes again, depending on the result of the match tomorrow. I'm pretty sure, yeah, tomorrow. That one will be tomorrow. Depending on that match, could be an interesting Group 5 or match day 5 for Group A. Could really be two contenders that we focus on for that one. Then that could be one that it really could come down to game differential. So we'll have to see. Gon gets the win here. We'll get some quick thoughts from him here as he's typing. But Yoshi, any final comments from this series? I mean, gone 5-0 on the 5-0 on the +4s is definitely something to talk about there. But just any general takeaways as we wrap this one up here and keep things moving forward to match day 2 or match day 4.
Yeah, look, Gone just, like Nick said, he had the hands and he played them really well. I mean, it, it's not like, yeah, if you play the way that Gon did there's not much you can really do. Obviously, maybe with a different player, Nick could have found a way to maybe win a couple more games. But Gon, just not really making many mistakes, kind of allowing him to just get the win, even stealing it at times. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in the next stage. He's one of those players where we didn't really know what to expect because he only played in 3 tournaments. Um, but he's really shown why he should be in Super League, and um, he now gets to rest in this last week, knowing that he's in. Um, gets some time to prep for whatever comes up in the next phase. I think for Nick, you know, definitely frustrating to lose in the way he did, but at least he didn't necessarily play bad in any way. He did almost the best he could have, and I feel like you don't need to change much in your strategy. It's just a matter of yeah, like you said, just bouncing back from it, not taking, moving on from your losses, and if you can take away something, then do that. But if you can't, then just move on and hope that you get more to work with in the next match. And so yeah, I mean, an opportunity to get a win on Lara, I think, could be useful here. But for Nick, he definitely wants to. Uh, well, he needs a win to make sure he's in. A tie would depend on how the other two do, and then a loss, I don't really know. Would probably need to bank on certain people winning. conservatively losing. So I mean, regardless of what happens, he's not going to be fully out, which is good. But he has control in this last match, assuming the cards go well enough. He has control of he has control of his fate. But yeah, Lara has been kind of like an up and coming player. Almost came out of nowhere. So it's gonna be tough. But I mean, Nick has won a tournament for a reason, so. G. Okay. What's
As okay, my mic was muted, but quick comments here from Gon. Definitely happy with what I managed to achieve, making it out of the groups as rookie of both league and super league is definitely an achievement. So now I just got to look at the final games and see what's going to happen. So again, Gon, one of 2 rookies in the super league field. He will make it to the bracket phase. Background still has to do a bit of work in match day 5 to do that, so we'll see what happens with that. But with that all said, that'll do it. Again, quick final look at the standings tab. Again, Gon is going to be at 9 points, and we'll jump to the lead here. Lara will play tomorrow against Caesar. We'll see the outcome of that. Again, if Caesar loses, he's out. If he ties, it's looking dire, but not out of it yet. Actually, no, he's still in it, but it's like it's such a long shot. So I mean, it's pretty much must win for Caesar at this point. So we'll see that unfold tomorrow. We got one more match for you later today at 8 p.m. It's going to be Toasty Varigold. Varigold in very dire needs of getting a victory here. As for Toasty, unfortunately already out of it, so he's just kind of playing to get the last stand and get some good momentum heading in next season, as we have the standings right there. Again, Costa already advanced, so he's good to go. Got the win against Background before, and then I mean you see the rest of the group here. Toasty's already done for. This will be his last match later tonight, and then for Gold, in need of a big result here. At least a tie would help him out, but obviously wants to get the win there. Force some pressure on the Background and maybe pass him going into match day 5. We will see, but that'll do it for us. On behalf of the Amarillo Una team, with my co-commentator Yoshi, our ref Cyan, and our players, thank you all so much for watching this stream. Congrats to Gon on getting the 6-2 win here, and we will catch you all later tonight for Varigold versus Toasty here as we continue Super League action. Until then, I'm G-Man, and we will catch you all later for some more Super League Uno.
This has been a special presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1, Super League 2025.